Hey everyone, I am Coach Linda, and this is 100 Days of Purpose. And my hair is a mess. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry you guys see me like this. But anyway, that just lets you know I'm not always perfect. But I came on here today because our topic is believe that you are chosen. And I want that to settle in. I want you to really think about that. You were chosen. From the very beginning of time, you were chosen. You were chosen to be you. You were chosen to do the amazing things that only you can do. You were chosen to go through the ups, the downs, the ins, the outs. You were chosen to carry the responsibility that is all encompassed in who you are. And so it's very important to understand that you're needed. And in this day and age, in this time that we live in, so many people are made to feel discarded because of their background, discarded because they made a mistake, discarded because somebody else looks better, can do better, uh, whatever it may be. And they just feel, you know, I've been counseled even before I was able to start. It's kind of like those sitcoms that, they have a pilot and you never hear anything about it. You see one little pilot show, or sometimes they don't even make it to the pilot, right? They never get aired. They do all of this taping and the actors do all of this work, and it never goes anywhere. And many of you feel like that in your life, that you've invested time, you invested energy, sometimes even money, and nothing has come from it. And what you thought was going to be, uh, what you thought was going to be everything and was going to change the trajectory of your life, was going to take you from where you are or wherever you were at that time to where you want to be. It didn't happen. And so now everyone's looking at you out the side of their eye, right? They giving you the side eye. They like, yeah, she said she was gonna do this. She said it was gonna blow up. She said it's gonna do that. And I've been there. I've gotten these wonderful ideas, um and was like, man, if I can just get this, if I can just make this happen, if I can just get one person to believe in it. And what I never realized until recently was that the one person I needed to believe in me, the one person I needed to recognize and acknowledge me, was me, right? I had to believe that I was chosen to do what it was I was trying to accomplish. I had to believe that I had all the tools and all of the ability. And I didn't believe that. And so it's no wonder it failed. It's no wonder it did not accomplish what I thought it was going to accomplish. Because when you don't even believe, right? When you don't even believe, it can be sensed and felt by other people. When you're discouraged, it can be sensed and felt by other people. I was talking with a friend, and actually, she's the one that planted this little seed in me, because we were talking and she was telling me about, because she and I both are dating, we're on dating sites, and we're out there trying to make ourselves available, um and we're both Christian women, so there's just certain lines we won't cross. And um she was saying, Linda, maybe, I know I've gotten in prayer, and I know that people have come to me and said, God said that there's someone out there for me, that he's prepared my husband and he's preparing my husband for me. I get it. I know that. I understand that. But maybe I'm just supposed to be single. Maybe I'm just supposed to be single. I'm not supposed to find someone, or the man's not supposed to find me. I don't know. She said, because it's so hard. And I said, well, when you go on dates, do you go on dates with that defeatist mentality? And she was like, well, no, I do everything that I'm supposed to do, and I get all dolled up and put the time and energy to make myself look good. I said, but do you think, do you believe that they are not going to choose you? And she goes, well, they have it. And I said, well, maybe that's the reason why. Because you got to believe that you are deserving of love. You got to believe that someone out there wants to be with you. They want to discover everything that is you. And it's the same when you become a person of purpose. You got to believe that there are people assigned to you to hear your message and to understand what you're saying. And whether you speak in broken English or you speak very well, um, whether you can communicate well or you need an interpreter to say, hey, look, this is what they trying to say, whatever it may be. Whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, or you're in it, and you know exactly what to do and what steps to take, or you're trying to feel your way, like in a dark room trying to find the light switch, right? There are people out there that need you. They need what you have on the inside of you. And so, being a person of purpose, you've got to take that sip of life. You've got to stop believing that you are undeserving. You've got to stop believing that what you think, what you say, who you are doesn't matter, because it does matter. It matters to those that need you. The issue, and I say this all the time and I will never stop saying it, the issue is that we keep trying to fit in where people don't want us. And that's the reason why I say be you and the world will adjust. You do not have to adjust to the world. The world has to adjust to you. And there are people that are waiting for you to settle yourself. Believe the message. Believe that your life matters. Believe that you have what it takes for them to get from where they are to where they need to be. You got to believe, if you were created to carry the water, you got to believe that you can carry that water as good as anybody else that it was created to carry water. You got to believe that you are chosen. You were chosen. From the beginning of time, you were chosen. You were chosen to be who you are, and you were chosen to live in the span of life that you're living in. You were chosen to live in this era. You were chosen to meet certain people. You ever wonder why certain people seem to gravitate to you and others seem to repel you? That's the reason why. Some people are waiting for you to show up, and it is a travesty if you don't show up. If you don't show up, it's a travesty. If you don't do what you were put on this earth to do, because it's more than just you. It's more than just you. that will miss out. Everyone that's assigned to you, everyone that is waiting for the solution you have on the inside of you. And there are some that if they don't get it, it can be detrimental to them. So you got to believe that you were chosen, because you were. You were chosen. You were chosen to be you. Not to be like your mom, not to be like your dad, not to be like your brothers and sisters, not to be like other people. You were chosen to be you. So here's a tip for you. Here's a tip. Stop trying to keep up with the Joneses. Your last name ain't Jones. And if it is, still don't keep up with the Joneses. Be you. Be who God created you to be. Do what you were put on this earth to do. And stop taking the easy way out. Stop using your identifiers to identify you, because they do not. Stop using labels that other people put on you to identify you, because it does not. You are not defined by your titles. You are not defined by your job, what you do what you do in your vocation, who you're related to, where you went to school, what group you pledged, what group you didn't pledge. None of that defines you. What defines you is who you are from the beginning of time. And that does not change, because you are a pastor, because you are a doctor, because you are a lawyer. What happens when you're Linda and you're a pastor, an author, a life coach, a financial coach? What happens when you're a real estate agent, about to be an appraiser, about to be a mortgage loan originator? What happens then? Am I schizophrenic because I'm all these things? It doesn't define me. That's why I had to find out what my purpose is, because when I tie my purpose into everything that I do, it makes sense. It makes sense. It makes sense that God would call me to pastor. It makes sense that I have a calling on my life to coach people into purpose. It makes sense that I have a calling on my life to help people understand money and make money work for them and not work for money. It makes sense that I would sell people and help people purchase and sell homes. It makes sense that I would want to be an appraiser of property. It makes sense that I would want to be a mortgage loan originator. It makes sense that I would be a sister, that I would be an auntie. It starts to make sense. All of these things that have come in and claimed little pieces of who I am, they begin to make sense. They don't define me, because I am Linda, but now you can understand, man, Linda is doing her thing. She's doing what she was put on earth to do. God's up in heaven saying, that a girl, that's my girl right there. You better go on and walk, because you found your purpose and you're walking therein. And the people that need you, the people that are assigned to you, whether it be assigned to the ministry, whether it be assigned to me as a real estate agent, whether it be assigned to me as a coach, whether it be assigned to read my books, whether it be assigned to be related to me, to be my blood family, or to be my family that I've adopted because they're just so awesome. Whatever that is, I've learned my purpose and I'm walking therein. And I understand that no matter how hard it gets, no matter if it's a good day or a bad day. I mean, over the past few days, all I wanted to do was cry, but I've held myself together because right now life is not good. There's some stuff going on. But yet, look at me. I'm here and I'm speaking my truth. I'm leading the people that want to be led to purpose. I'm leading them to purpose. Why? Because at the end of the day, I have to do what I was put on earth to do. In the good times, the bad times, the hard times, the sad times, the glad, happy, glad times, the joyful times, all of that. I have got to be Linda. And if you can't say that, if you can't walk in your purpose and know that you know that you know that you know that you know you're walking in your purpose, I don't even know what to say about it. I Why don't you care enough to walk in purpose? Because it's not just for you. There's people attached to that. There's people attached to that. And they can only get from you what you can give. They're not looking for you to save their lives. They're looking for you to enhance their life. So it's time. It's time. It's time for you to do a self inventory. And I think Monday or Tuesday I'll talk about self inventory. It's time for you to do a self inventory. Because not only, and y'all know I'm a Christian, so I'm getting ready to go right there with y'all, and y'all can, you know, just y'all that are not Christian can take it or not take it, but I'm going to say it. When I transition from this life to the next, and I'm not talking reincarnation here. When I transition from this life to the next, I want to be able to see God's face in peace. And I want to hear him say, "Well done, thou good and faithful servant. Enter into my rest." And that can only be said if I took the time while I was here on earth to do what I was placed on earth to do. Thank you, Tiffany. Hey, Nida, Nilda, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a long time, ma'am. But that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. The graveyard is full of people that never reached their potential. And they didn't reach their potential because they didn't bother to find out what they were capable of doing. They let what other people thought of them, they let what they thought of themselves hinder and stop and block them. Ask me how I know. Because that was me. That was me. People said I couldn't preach. People said I couldn't sing. People said I was too fat. People said I was too ugly. People said I was a bad seed. People said I had attitude problems and I was a this and I was a that and a da. And some people liked me. Some people didn't like me. Some people didn't even know me and still didn't like me. I never understood it that way. But yeah. So I just thought, I'm if I'm this god awful person, why even try? Until God says, "But what do I think about you? Does it even matter what I say?" And then I had to deal, and I talked about this a few days ago, I had to deal with the shame. Many of us don't do stuff because of shame. Shame that people have put on us and shame that we put on ourselves. We don't deal with it. We run away from it. We think, I can't do that. I can't start a business. I can't do that. I can't be there. People can't depend on me, but they are depending on you. They are depending on you. And it's not just in this generation. It's in the generations to come. They're all depending on you. It's your responsibility to find out what they need from you and to give that to them wholeheartedly. And I'm going to end with this. You got to believe that you are chosen. You're chosen. You're chosen. You're chosen. You got to believe that you're chosen. You got to believe that you matter. You got to believe that your life touches other lives. And some of those people may never know your name, but they'll hear your words. They'll hear your message. Have you ever been on the phone? And I'm really ending now. Have you ever been on the phone and you say hello and you can't hear them talking on the other end, but if you were on their site, they would be saying hello, hello. And so you hang up and you call back and you're like, hello, and you still can't hear them. And you hang up and you call back and you're like, hello. And they're like, hello, didn't you hear me? And you're like, no, I didn't hear you. There are people that have picked up and placed the call, and you were supposed to pick up the other line. And maybe you did, and maybe you didn't. But they can't hear you. They can't hear what's being said. And most of the time they can't hear what's being said, not because you're talking, but because you didn't bother to show up because you didn't know you were supposed to. Or you knew you were supposed to, but you chose not to. So I beg you, as your coach, show up. Show up and shine bright. I am Coach Linda. This is 100 Days of Purpose. Remember, believe that you are chosen. You've got to believe it. Only those that can see the invisible can achieve the impossible. And I double dog dare you to be all you were created and designed to be. Be extremely, exactly over the top you, and the world will adjust.